Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to continue our NFL predictions with the New England Patriots, a team that had a very disappointing year. Yeah, there's very disappointing. While the defense was okay, had a bit of promise, the offense was atrocious. They had a lot of their offense was so bad. The offenses you see in the 1940s that no one talks about, they're better than what's out there for them right now. And it might have been the end of the era of the Patriot way, as some key players and coaches from the Patriots are no longer on the team. It's gonna be a tough task for new head coach Gerard Mayo to build upon, but can he do it? I hope so. And looking at their schedule from last year, they went 4-13, which was tied for the second worst record in the NFL. Well, and while I could say them getting a win of the New York Jets was expected, and getting a win over the Buffalo Bills was surprising, there were a lot of games where they were just awful. Like Dallas Cowboys Week 4, they got destroyed 38-3, which was beforehand Belichick's worst loss. But hold his beer. They lost the next week 34-0 to the New Orleans Saints at home. Then we got the November stretch, which I will talk about later on in the video. And while them getting a win over the Pittsburgh Steelers and Denver Broncos did show them a little promise, they were a pretty bad team on that side of the ball. So, are there any highlights from last year? Their defense was still good. They still found a way to score on defense. Their defense was better than their offense, so there's that. They did beat the Bills Week 7 on National Tight Ends Day. That was another highlight. And getting primetime wins over the Steelers and Broncos on the road, even more impressive. I was very impressed with that. But no, the lowlights took over the story yet again. Everything Mac Jones did that year was terrible. That offseason they added a real offensive coordinator in Bill O'Brien, which was supposed to be an upgrade over what they had. But man, that team took a major step back. And most of it was due to their offensive line being bad, which shattered Mac Jones' confidence. He was benched 3 times during that season. Let me repeat, 3 times he was benched. And after the third time, he didn't even see the field ever again for the Patriots. And it was the end of an era. Because after the New York Jets game, and out of a mutual parting of the ways of Bill Belichick, their longest tenured head coach, after 24 seasons as the Patriots head coach, might have been 25, might have miscounted, he's now gone. Now Belichick was part of the problem because he was stuck in the past. The game passed him by. It happens. And now looking at their offseason acquisitions, and what do you know? Jacoby Brissett, welcome back. They also added Antonio Gibson from Washington, Austin Hooper from the Raiders, and Sione Takitaki from the Cleveland Browns. Now who they lost? Yeah, they lost Bill Belichick at head coach. Mike Gesicki, he didn't really have a big impact with them anyway. He's down with the Bengals. Matt Jones is now he's with the Jaguars. Devontae Parker, he signed a 1-year deal with the Eagles. He'll probably be cut in the offseason. Mack Wilson is gone. But their biggest loss of all, outside of Bill Belichick, of course, Matthew Slater, their special teams gunner, who never caught a pass in the NFL, he now announced his retirement. He announced his retirement after the Jet game as well. So he was pretty much the last piece of the New England Patriots of the Belichick era is now gone. But what's there to look forward to in the draft? Year 1 in the rebuild. Well, feel like they really emphasized their offense outside of Mark Sulla's dial, a corner from South Carolina. All of it was built to help the offense, which included taking Drake May, quarterback from North Carolina. They also added Jalen Polk, wide receiver from Washington, took took care of offensive line with Caden Wallace from Penn State and Landon Robinson with Texas A&M. They also added Javon Baker from UCF, but they also added another quarterback in Joe Milton, who was a big arm Tennessee quarterback. In case Drake May doesn't work out, they do have a guy as a backup in waiting, and adding Jeremiah or Jaheim Bell, tight end from Florida State. Now the Patriots, I'm not expecting too much from them, so let's take a look at their schedule and see what they could make out of year one of the rebuild. Okay, New England, it's time to talk about life after Belichick. And you're going to lose to Cincinnati the first game of the season. But I have you winning the second game of the season against the Seattle Seahawks. Then they're going to lose their next two games over the Jets on Thursday night and the 49ers week 4. But week 5, I got them winning over the Miami Dolphins. But week 6, losing to the Texans. Week 7, losing at Jacksonville. Week 8, getting swept by the Jets for the first time in, honestly, I don't know how long it's been. But week 9, losing to the Titans on the road, losing to the Bears on the road. Week 11, you do have an opportunity to take on the Rams at home, but I got to give this one to the Rams on the road. I think they're just better on the offensive side of the ball. Sorry. Week 12, I have them losing to the Dolphins on the road. Week 13, I'm going to go ahead and get a win over the Indianapolis Colts. But that'll probably be their last win of the season, as I got them losing to the Cardinals and Bills on the road. Chargers, Bills again at home, which is their record to an abysmal 3-14, the worst record in the NFL right now. As you can see, I'm not really high on New England this year. A lot of teams aren't high on New England this year, but this is year one of their rebuild. So tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Gamble safely, and I'll see you next time.